I wanted to do this video for a long time about the importance of music in the creating of choreography. And what motivated me was a comment made to me today by a very good choreographer starting out, who said to me, I have a new ballet to present in 4 months, and I'm looking for the music. I thought, what in the hell are you doing? And I'll tell you why. In the beginning of creation, according to the Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita, there was only a sound, and the sound was Om. And from this sound came all of creation. And it's exactly the same way in dance. All dance, all creating, particularly choreography, comes from the sound, comes from the music. A lot of this depends on whether you really want to make a living as a choreographer. And the only way you can make a living as a choreographer is to create ballets that dance companies will want to have as part of their ongoing repertoire. And every time they perform it, you will get some residuals commission, besides the setting of the ballet, the original setting. And if you can do enough of this, you can make a living as a choreographer. If you just create fluff pieces that have no repetitive value or will never be performed again, you're just going to be working and working and working. You're never going to make enough to really make a living. So this video is really for the people that want to create a masterpiece. That's all I want to do. I want to create ballets that will be performed forever. It has to be the goal to make another Giselle or a Swan Lake or a Nutcracker. You want to make a great ballet. At least I do. And I'm not even a choreographer. Petitpaul once said, without Tchaikovsky, I'd be nothing. And Diaghilev said the same thing about Stravinsky. It's that music, it's that great music that makes their ballets last forever. And the stories are an integral part and come from the music. They didn't go looking for music that suited their means. It's not wallpaper. It's not a set decoration. It's not a costume. It's the source of what you're doing. You've got to start building an inventory of music, knowledge of music that speaks to you. For a choreographer, your inventory and knowledge of music are the tools of your trade. They're the brushes from which you put the paint on the canvas. It all starts there. You all know that I take 4 or 5 hours a day in isolation from the internet and all the noise of living to listen to music. And when I'm creating a ballet, I'll listen to the same music on a loop over and over and over again for months. A new thing I'm working on now is 33-minute new symphony from Eduardo. And it's going to be a ballet. I've been listening to that every day 3 times for 4 months now. There's no other way. And just now, I'm starting to find the story that's in the music. It's much more powerful than anything that you can make up. The reality, the truth that's being told by the composer in the music will sing to you. The steps in the choreography, especially my process, come later because I turn it over to somebody else. and they take it from there. But I hand them a solid story, something that could be universal. And that's not my idea, none of it. It just comes from the music. And it may not always be from the music. Sometimes it's the sound of the water on the river, over the rocks, and the laughter of children. And all of those things, there are stories. If you're just going to tell the story about yourself, and I call it theatrical masturbation, you're not that interesting. People are not going to pay money and go to the theater to listen to you talk about yourself. You have to go to a bigger, more universal source, and that's in the music. The composers have things to say. They spent months or years on that music, and they're telling you something. And they're telling you something that's maybe so deep and so private that they won't tell anybody in any other way. But that's the story that you need to discover. You need to listen to it. And then you have a chance of making a masterpiece. And if you're not interested in making masterpieces, that's a whole other issue. But that's the world that I live in, and I'd like you to join me. If you're just going to do the electronic stuff and squiggle around, and it's just, I look at maybe 600 or 700 new choreographers every year, and there's maybe five that are really telling a story. And I'd like you to be one of them. So I'd like you to listen to this. This is a little piece of the next ballet that I'm doing. Tell me what you hear. I found the spiritual center, the core, the moment of absolute truth in this. I'd like to know what you hear, but I couldn't have found that by projecting what I wanted or what I needed. And it might take me another 3 or 4 months of listening every day to get the whole thing. But I intend on making a masterpiece.